I'm just acting Chicallywood.
Okay, so leading back to my other question, so what made you guys start the festivals and the awards like that?
I got tired of. I know it's a lot of politics and BS to go on some of these film festivals. I've witnessed it, and I'm not even gonna say the person that I witnessed it from, but I was in part of a movie, and we wrapped the day of the movie. We wrapped on Friday.
Okay.
On Saturday, they announced that the movie has made a film festival in L.A., like a major film festival in L.A. I'm like, it's not ready yet. So I'm like, what's going on? And this happened to be the same film festival that I submitted to a year prior and didn't get approved. So I was like, hey, man, this is some bullshit. So I just got tired of it. It's like, I know that's not the only one. I know that it's like, they pick who they want to pick. A lot of them, they accepting fees and money from people.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I just want, it's mainly a lot of 100% probably was Chicago filmmakers to submit it. So I just wanted to celebrate them, people who put work into from the beginning to ending process of making the film. And just, a lot of people don't get to see their film on the big screen.
Yeah, this is true. So, but once again, that comes with its own situation. So how do you deal with, like, for example, like how you were feeling, somebody feeling the same way about, like, man, how come, I want to be a part of IndieCon and this, that, and the third. How do you kind of navigate, like, picking people to put them on? Like, how does that work?
We had them submit films through Film Freeway, and we had a team. Shout out Felicia, Omar, David Leonard. We all reviewed the films, and we picked the best films that would, make it to the film festival. And it was literally, I say out of, say like this 15, only 3 we didn't pick because they was just like, it was just like, all right, this was your first film. I get it.
Okay.
And we all actually gave them feedback, like, this is what you should do. We didn't just like, hey, man, get this shit out of here. We actually gave them, like, all right, this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
If you need help, reach out. But it was literally only like 3 films that didn't make it.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, paid the fee, submitted, and they got to see their movie on the big screen.
Because, some Chicago folks be like, oh, they hating.
Oh, yeah, I got people hit me up. And we added an award ceremony. We gave Best Director, Best Actor, Actress, Rising Star. And people had we submitted, like, the link, like, hey, man, nominate who you want to nominate. But then we, as a committee, selected who we wanted. We had a committee. I reached out to people who not affiliated with the film festival, like, who do you like? Pick your person.
Yeah.
And, some people who didn't like who we picked, I don't give a fuck. That's not your film fest. Start one, and you can nominate yourself for Best Actor, Director if you want. I don't give a fuck if y'all don't care or like who we picked to win these awards. That's what people like. I don't care. Call me, and I'll tell you I don't care.
And because, at the end of the day, this is what I believe Chicago needs. It just needs to have more things to do.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of people are not even taking your steps to even do what you're doing. So I commend you on that. You know what I'm saying? But I think we do got to get over the whole aspect of, like, oh, man, they hating and this and that and the third.
It's not that some people just don't like you. How about that? That's not hate. Maybe they just don't like you. And there's nothing wrong. A lot of people don't like me. I don't care. It's just... Maybe they just don't like it. Ain't hate all the time. It's not hate all the time.
Nah, I got you. How does Jay Davis basically, like, unplug from, you got so much going on, but life is life. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you basically, like, reset from a lot of this industry stuff?
Go on trips. Me and my wife try to go 1 or 2 trips a year. Get the hell away from people. Getting on me, like, get off your phone. It's like, it just so happened the last 2 trips, we had, like, a show, and I was just trying to promote. And she's like, get off your phone. I'm like, I'm sorry. I got to do this. But just disconnecting for, like, 6 days. Get off social media. Social media is the devil. If it's not used right.
Yeah, man. And that's the thing. Like, I tell people, like, it's a tool. You know what I'm saying? You can't abuse that tool. You know what I'm saying? It's like a hammer. A hammer is good for certain things, but you can't go around just trying to use it on glass.
Exactly.
So, no, that's cool. So just a lot of people have that mindset like, oh, well, you know, I got to get it, I got to get it, I got to get it. And I think that's based because of the whole back in the P. Diddy era where it was like, man, no sleep, no days off. But then your health is like, but we didn't know that Diddy was doing any type of drugs like that. So he was definitely not sleeping, no days off.
Exactly.
That's a whole nother story.
It didn't work out for him that way.
Whole nother story. But nah, man, so that's cool. So you pretty much can balance. You have good balance because you're able to have a wife that supports you, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's key too. So how instrumental is your wife far as in your career?
She'll tell me like, I don't like this part. Like she'll fix that. I don't get this part. Make it clearer. I send her all my scripts first. And so now if I shoot something, she'll be like, hey, where did that come from? I'm like, you read it or did you? but she definitely encourages me. She keeps me focused. She's like, what's next? I want to see you do this, and that. So she definitely is like, have a foot on my neck, literally and figuratively.
That's what's up, man. So it's safe to say, like, you wouldn't be open. I mean, you wouldn't mind to be open to have a team of writers one day, like where you basically, or is it mostly like you're just hands on?
At some point, like when I'm getting burnt out, but if I'm doing multiple things, I have a team of writers, but at some point, I'm like, now, I'm not going to pay somebody what I can do.
No, I get it, and just to kind of segue into I remember the whole thing that people were getting upset about rappers that didn't write their lyrics. Now I write all my lyrics, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I enjoy the process, but I look at somebody like a Kanye and a Drake, you know what I'm saying, where they're doing so much.
They don't have time.
They're like a business. They're literally a brand. You know, they're literally like a machine. And it's like they have to do so much to be able to get ideas passed off to them quickly, efficiently, and the best that they could. So, you know what I'm saying? Teamwork in that aspect, I don't see the problem with that. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And let's be realistic. Like, the thing that I want people to understand when you're getting into this business is that it's teamwork. You know, like, I don't think I've ever seen anybody successfully do something by themselves all the way. No. I mean, you might get to a level of where, you know, you get some people that give you some accolades, but, you know, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
You got to have people around you. It's like cliche, but, you know, I always never be the smartest one in the room. But you have to have people around you that can do stuff that you can't do. Yeah. And you can't do everything. You can't edit everything. You can't sound design everything. You can't do everything. You have to have somebody around. You got to have a good director around you. Yeah. From when you write something in your mind and how you visualize it, it comes out one way. But when you're actually there, logistics, the room is different from what you picture. You got to have a director and a producer to like, hey, how about we switch something around? How about we change this instead of doing this, do this? But that comes from a team. Even in post production, when you're looking at the product, when you're going through the last edits, like, hey, how about you just cut this part out? But you need someone, and you need to listen to that person.
Yeah. So it's sort of like you know your strengths. You know your strengths, you know your weaknesses. Like I said, I want to get into learning more visual effects. My thing is, like I said, I love to learn all angles of the industry. You know what I'm saying? That way I know what rules to break. Right. You know what I mean? So, because I'm self-taught, you know, so, and that's the thing. Some people look at it like, oh, well, you know, I went to this school and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I mean, and more power to you.
I've seen both work.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, so what works for one other person may not work for the other. But for me, like, I went to school. I went to Columbia, and it was just like, I looked at it as it was like they were trying to sell products. Right. You know, because I was like trying to do music, and I already knew how to do music. And I remember they said the only way you can be successful is if you buy this particular program.
And we have it.
And I'm like, that's not true. And then come to find out that program had a contract with the school to be able to sell it. And I was just like, it was just bizarre to me. So that's when I realized that, like, in this business, like, rules are only suggestions. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So how do you like acting compared to doing the writing?
I'm a writer first. Only reason I started acting because when I saw my very first sketch, nobody wanted to do it. They were like, "Nah, really? Man, this is crazy. What you gonna do with this?" And it's like, "Fuck it, I'll do it myself." Yeah. And I've always said that it's like, if I can do it myself, I'm gonna do it. I don't like waiting for people. Like, you can have anybody around me. Like, if I ask you to do something, and you don't do it in the time that I think you need to do, I'm gonna get it done. And there's no malice and no hate. I'm not fucking waiting. Why should I wait when I can do it?
It's sufficient.
But I love. I mean, act is fun. I have a ball every time I'm like doing something. Even when I ventured into doing like play somebody a villain in one of the anthologies. I mean, it's called EDYH. Okay. And one of the episodes, I was basically a killer, the Invisible Man, and I was killing people. But I had to have a mask on my face because people would laugh when they saw me, and we didn't want that. We didn't want so shout out to Omar. He was like, yeah, we have to whatever this comes out. This might make or break the thing because if people start laughing, it's over with. So we had to basically make it so serious and so terrifying that no one would laugh.
Yeah. Now, is it certain things as somebody that is in the house of comedy? Is it certain things that are like off limits that you just like, well, or how do you go about that?
Everything is funny till it happens to you. But the one thing I have not talked about and probably won't talk about is like I just don't make fun of.
I'm just acting Chicallywood.